about voting? Are we too big to vote now?
Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Katie, and for those of you who don't know me, I used to weigh 360 pounds, and I've lost 180 pounds and kept it off for years now. And on this channel we will discuss weight loss, weight maintenance, nonsense I see online about body positivity and fat acceptance, my experiences with all of that, and well, anything else I feel like talking about. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, and let's get into today's video. Hi, Editing Katie here. I just wanted to hop on real quick and say thank you. Oh my goodness, this week I hit 1,000 subscribers, and I gotta say I am just truly blown away by all of the support. Thank you to each and every one of you who has hit that subscribe button, and if you haven't yet, you can go ahead and hit it down below. I mean, it is free, and it definitely helps out the channel, and I appreciate it more than you could ever know. I started this channel just 7 months ago, and I had no idea that it would take off so quickly, so thank you. And I guess now it's time to hit 5,000 subscribers. So today I have a handful of TikToks from our friend to the channel, Samyra, and her thoughts on some brands and their sizing. So I figure we'll go ahead and watch these together, and I'll give you my reactions along the way.
Forever 21 does not care about plus sizes. And how do I know this? I went to 5 different locations here in Los Angeles, and guess how many of them had their plus sizes in store? Come with me.
They said big bag bitch get to the bed.
Pardon? I'm wondering, where can I find the plus sizes?
This location doesn't have.
Oh.
The nearest one is the Forever 21.
Okay, pretends to be shocked. Is she going in with the expectation that they're not going to be in store? Or is she just trying to put on a performance?
The Westfield Culver City Mall.
Okay, that's like 20 minutes?
Approximately.
Okay, thank you.
They said big bag bitch, you want a snack?
Is plus still upstairs or is it? Okay, thank you.
They used to have a better selection upstairs, but it looked like they bounced it all up.
So apparently the plus size section in here is not what it used to be. Forever 21, are you removing the plus size? Plus size section, screaming.
Yelling and screaming.
Well,
Okay, it says it's always a mess. Okay, I'm gonna back it up. Let's take a look. If what I'm assuming is correct, that this entire section here is the plus size section. I mean, it looks for the most part, other than that one little fixture right there, that it's in pretty clean working order. I mean, the tables are stacked and folded pretty nicely. We've got mannequins and half mannequins showing the apparel, and it looks like the actual apparel is pretty close by. For the most part, everything looks like it's in great shape there, except that. That's a customer. That's not the store that did that. I hope our friend here understands that. And for those of you who don't know, I worked for a number of years in retail at both Lane Bryant, Men's Warehouse. I worked all over in retail. So I can already tell just by looking at that was a customer who was trying to find their size. And they were the ones that felt that it was okay to leave it like that. Now, if there had been a bunch of employees all kind of standing around looking at it and they just left it like that, then maybe you could point out that that's a mess and they don't really care about it. But when a customer does that, that just might mean that an employee hasn't even had an opportunity to see it yet. So that's definitely somebody who was trying to dig through to get their size of that dress. That was not something that an employee did. It looks for the most part like everything's in pretty good shape back there. I mean, obviously I see a few things that could be straightened up, but I think that's pretty much the case in any retail environment. Whenever you got customers going through and pawing through stuff, that's going to be what happens, so.
well, this big bag bitch, she got the stack.
On to number 3.
So put big bag bitch clothes on the rack.
Hi, welcome.
Hi, is plus upstairs?
We don't have one in this store, dear.
Okay.
One will be Montebello or Culver City.
And pretends to be shocked again. So I'm not sure why she needs to pretend to be shocked if she's already been to one that didn't have plus sizes.
Where's Montebello?
Montebello Mall. You could just Google it. It's like maybe 25 minutes from here, but I don't know right now with traffic.
So give it to us, baby, give us a got.
Pardon? Where are your plus sizes?
Don't carry it in this store. We're just a small.
Oh, okay. I should have went to Mozzarella Mall.
Give it to us when we step on a spot.
Oh, look, my alma mater. Let's see if they have this in plus size. Pardon? Do you know if you have this in a 3X? It was in the dorm section.
It goes up to like extra large, but
The dorm thing? The university thing?
yeah.
Can't even get my alma mater.
Okay, it says, does Forever 21 think big people don't go to college? Really? And does she think that that's the only place that she can buy a college sweatshirt? I mean, Really? That's not at all where I would think of to go to get a college sweatshirt. Actually, like, wouldn't even make my top 10. Look, if Forever 21 were the only option out there, even then, I still don't think she has much of a point. Come on. No one's saying that big people don't go to college. They're saying that that sweatshirt doesn't come in a 3X. That's all they said.
Sweatshirt, and there's not a plus size in sight in this one either. If Forever 21 actually cared about plus sizes, they would have them in stores. And Forever 21 is part of the reason why shopping at the mall isn't fun when you're plus size, because you can't get any clothes.
Okay, so there is that first TikTok, and there are a few things that I would like to point out there. And first and foremost, I mean, I know at least from everything that I've been reading across the country, and I can definitely see it in my area, malls all over America are dying. I mean, dead malls are actually a big thing that people like to go check out and explore and go seek out. I'm definitely no stranger to that. My home mall became one of the most famous dead malls of all time, Rolling Acres Mall. I watched that mall die like 10, 15 years ago. So I've definitely been through that. I watched another mall in my city close not that long ago. I watched Randall Park Mall, which isn't too far from here. That was once the largest mall in the entire world. I watched that one close. But I can tell you, at least from everything I have seen in my area and all the trends that I have been reading nationwide, shopping in malls is going away for a lot of places. It's not what it used to be, especially growing up in the 80s and 90s. It is definitely not at all what I remember. This seems to be a trend across the board. Then the other thing that I would like to point out, and this is why I feel like the whole pretends to be shocked thing is nothing more than a performance. I feel like her driving to 5 different locations just to prove her point is nothing more than a performance. And I'll tell you exactly why. Every single store out there that has a store pickup option available, you're able to go online and check the inventory of that store before you even leave the house. There was no need whatsoever to drive all over to ask these customer service people that have absolutely no power to change any of the things that she wants changed. There was no reason for any of that whatsoever except for her to get those shots of her performance, of her pretending to be shocked, of her finding the messy things she wants to point out in the plus size section. Where I'm fairly confident if she would have walked through the straight size section, we would have found a lot of items out of place just like that as well. And I just have a hard time believing that she doesn't know this. When so many businesses have this option. I mean, my local hardware store up the street, I can do the same thing. I can do this at almost every store that I shop at now. I can put an order in online, and when you're putting that order in online, what are they doing? They're checking their inventory to see if it's in stock. So if I were going to the store and I wanted to buy 5 specific things, and I wanted to make sure that I was going to go to the location that had it in stock, I could check out those items long before I leave the house. And then I don't have to drive all over and get aggravated and waste a bunch of time and waste a bunch of gas, which is wasting a bunch of money. So I know that's definitely an option. And specifically with Forever 21, I went and checked it out on the website right before filming. And despite never having been on that website before, I found that option within like 30 seconds of being on that website. Literally just scrolled down, clicked on an item for sale, it asked for my location, and what do you know? It told me all of the stores it was in stock. So I know for a fact if she really wanted to, she didn't have to drive all over to prove this point, and that's where it feels performative to me. So let's go ahead and see what else our friend has to say about Forever 21. And in this one, I will not be playing the audio as it's just music, but I'll go ahead and let you know what it says on the screen. And we're starting off with, deleting Forever 21 from my closet since they deleted their plus size account. Okay, oh wow. I find it very ironic that for somebody who claims that she cannot find clothes in her size, she's got a pretty dang full closet. There's a fair amount of clothes in here. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 racks that were fairly full of clothes. This one right in front right here is not as full as the others. But then I see another rack that looks like it has hangers on here. We had a whole wall of shoes and purses and accessories. We've got bins of, I'm not really sure, it could just be storage. I mean, it could be clothing for another season. Not really sure, but I mean, that's a fairly decent sized closet and a decent amount of clothing. Dare I say more than I own. So I find it rather ironic that she complains a lot about not being able to find her size or brands not catering to plus sizes. But at the same time, I see that she's not really having issues finding clothing. All of that for one shirt. One shirt? One shirt. Are you... Now that feels performative. If that first TikTok with her pretending to be shocked didn't feel performative enough, oh boy, does this feel performative. All of that for one top. So that actually tells me more than she might think. That tells me that in that entire closet, one shirt came from Forever 21. Clearly, that brand was an integral staple in her wardrobe. I don't know how she will get by without their plus size line for one shirt. And then the other thing that I have never understood, Forever 21 already got her money. That company already got her money. What good is this going to do? They already made the sale. All she's going to do is remove it from her closet. And I mean, I hope she's at least donating it and not just throwing it away or going to destroy it or something. Because I've definitely seen enough people on the internet over the years do that. We're going to boycott this brand. So you'd have people that take perfectly good articles of clothing or shoes or something and destroy them or throw them in the trash. And I mean, I get it. If you don't like a company and you don't want to support them anymore, you don't have to give them any more money. But when you've already spent the money, why would you give up something that still has use, that still fits you, that still has wear left in it? So this is something that has just never made any sort of sense to me whatsoever. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I feel it is a very privileged thing to actually be able to do that. That she has enough clothing, that she has no problem whatsoever purging this brand from her life. And it doesn't matter that she already spent the money on it. It doesn't matter that she could get more use out of it. She's going to do this to prove a point. I mean, I gotta be honest, there are a lot of companies that I didn't really agree with, but when I was dirt poor, I had no option. No option whatsoever. When you're poor, options are often a luxury. You're just trying to make it. You're just trying to get by. So this notion of discarding something that you've already paid for, that you could get more use out of, just because you're upset at the company's current decisions, I mean, like I said, that feels like a very privileged take to be able to do. That you have the ability to replace that clothing. That you have the ability to just remove something like that from your wardrobe. And I mean, again, clearly Forever 21 must have been an absolute staple that through that entire performance, she was able to locate one shirt. Okay, Forever 21 free zone with a circle and a slash. Not sure what I was expecting, but I don't think it was that. That's for sure. That's something I would expect, like, my kids to do. I mean, my daughter's 8, and that's something I might expect her to do. She tells me all the time that no boys are allowed, and I could easily see her doing a no boys allowed with a circle and a slash through it on her door if I allowed her. But again, she's 8, so that's age appropriate for her. But I know Samyra is a grown-ass adult because she did graduate from Harvard. She loves to tell everyone she did. So, really? We're going to throw a temper tantrum like an 8-year-old? Because that's what I expect out of my kids. And if I see people acting like my kids, oh man, wow, does that just put it into perspective. Because again, this just feels very performative. Incredibly performative. All of that for one shirt, and now we got to make a sign. Forever 21 free zone. My goodness. I mean, I've never bought anything from them either. Should I put one on the outside of my closet? All right, and there we go. She had to prove to everyone that it is indeed a Forever 21 free zone, as if the sign did not already tell us. So, I mean, I guess she did something. And it's not just Forever 21 that she has an issue with. Let's go ahead and see what she has to say about Old Navy.
Old Navy, you know you have a habit of rewriting history, but did you think you could do it again under our watch? After several people questioned your total denim experience, you geniusly removed it, just like your plus sizes. I was looking for size 26.
Okay, so Old Navy didn't remove their plus sizes, they just don't have them in store any longer, but you can still order them online. And that's often going to be the case for other lengths as well, so like petites and talls. They carry them, but they don't usually carry them in store, so.
So the 26 is not gonna be in store.
Okay.
Those are gonna be like online.
I saw a 22, but I didn't see a 26, so I was wondering if there were any in the back at all.
No, we don't have any.
Oh.
I can tell you, maybe Sherman Oaks might have one in it.
Pardon? I was at the Beverly location, and they told me that I'd be able to find a size 26 jeans here.
Okay, she didn't say that. The customer service person she talked to, she didn't say that. She didn't say she could find her jeans at that store. She said she might be able to maybe find one pair. That's a far cry between maybe and might versus I can find them here. And again, Old Navy, just like Forever 21, just like so many other retailers out there, she could go online and check before she even left the house. She doesn't have to drive around. She doesn't have to film herself talking to these people. She doesn't have to go through all of this. And this is why it feels so performative to me, because I am certain she's aware of this. I found this on both Old Navy and Forever 21's websites in like less than a minute on both websites. And I don't routinely shop at either one of those stores, so I am certain if this were a store that she routinely shopped at, she'd be able to figure that out very quickly.
Was there a specific color?
Whatever's available at this point. Thank you. Okay, I'm just as shocked as y'all are. Ain't no jumping today. Baba. Okay, let's go see if they have any more in a 26, because I'm gonna buy them. I'm wondering if you have any more 26s? Really in like any style. I'm just excited that I found a size in stores.
So I'm having just a little bit of trouble.
I'll just stick with these for today. Thank you so much for your help.
And Becky, and I'll find you if I
Okay, thank you.
I found in boot cut.
Thank you so much. Just these two. Thank you. Out of all of those jeans, there were only 2 size 26s? Is this?
There were only 2 in her size? How many was she planning on buying? The whole store?
It's the total denim experience y'all was talking about, Old Navy?
Okay, so let's go ahead and break down that total denim experience that she expects every store is going to have. And yes, we are going to do some math, and I do realize that a lot of people, that's not their favorite subject. But it is my favorite subject, so you can go ahead, hold my hand, and I will walk you right on through this. So, looking at the advertisement for Old Navy, they carry sizes 0 to 30, and they're going to carry those in even sizes. So let's go ahead and count those off. We got a size 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. That is 16 sizes. Well, let's go ahead. We can't just have one in stock, because what if somebody buys that and then you come in behind them and then they don't have your size in stock? So we'll go ahead and be generous and let them have 2 of every size, right? So that's not 16, that's now 32. And well, if we're really going to care about size inclusivity, and not just plus sizes, but actual size inclusivity, well, Old Navy carries all of their jeans in both petites and talls. So we're actually going to need to triple that number. So instead, you're going to need 96 pairs of jeans. And that is just for one style, one wash. If you have multiple styles, multiple washes, you're going to have to multiply that out for the number of styles and number of washes you wish to carry in store. Now, I did look it up, and at time of filming, at least in America, Old Navy has 1,142 stores across America. So we need to go ahead and multiply that by 96. And again, this is just for one style and one wash of jeans. And that's going to equate to 109,632 jeans. Over 100,000 jeans. Just in stores. Nothing backstocked in a warehouse. Just in stores. Again, just for one style in one wash. Say you want to have 4 different washes in one style, and you're going to have that by 3 different styles. And so you're going to have a total of 12 different jeans you're going to carry. That's going to come out to 1,315,584 pairs of jeans. That's a lot of jeans. That's a hell of a lot of jeans. And that's just jeans. That's not including anything else that Old Navy carries. That's a lot of product. And the one thing I learned in inventory management, both in retail and restaurant work, product on your shelf is money on your shelf. You don't want your product on your shelf for that long. You want it on there long enough that you can sell it and get it replenished and not have bare shelves. But also you don't want it sitting from delivery to delivery to delivery. You want it off your shelves so you can make room for new product. That's exactly how it works. And a lot of business is done by volume. So I'm not really sure what the profit margin is for Old Navy, but I do understand that when something is sitting on your shelf for a long period of time, that profit margin is decreasing because it's taking up valuable real estate for other products that may be selling in its place. And typically, the longer something sits on the shelf, the more likely it's going to end up discounted or eventually clearanced. And when it's on sale, the profit margin greatly reduces. And when it's on clearance, it may entirely disappear. So these things very much matter. And I can understand why a lot of stores have scaled back what they're doing. One of my favorite stores actually closed all of their in-person shopping like 3 or 4 years ago, and they went to online shopping only because it was just too much to keep up the inventory in stores and for online. So they were able to at least keep their business open while they were going through bankruptcy. But yeah, this is happening across the board in the retail landscape. Now look, I know I didn't go to Harvard, but I did attend a state college that did require economics as part of my undergrad. And I know for certain if I would have proposed a business plan in which the business ended up losing money, but just did something because you wanted to feel good, yeah, I guarantee you I would have failed that class, because that's not how it works in the business world. In the business world, especially the corporate business world, it's all about profit and sales, because they're not beholden to you, the customer. They're beholden to their shareholders. And what do shareholders care about? Profit. That's it. And I mean, we could debate whether or not that's a good thing in an entirely different video. But I do understand that this is how business works. And I also understand from what I saw personally in retail that the sizes on the extreme edges of size ranges, they really did not sell nearly as well as those typically in the middle. The distribution was just not there for those types of sales. And yes, occasionally you did have somebody come in who wore that size that did put in a big sale. But more often than not, at least at Lane Bryant, the size 26s and 28s, they sat on the shelf until they made it to clearance. But let's go ahead and see what else she has to say about Old Navy.
Old Navy, are we a joke to you? Are your plus size customers a joke to you? You made these shirts for this demonstration that the CFDA and Vogue are putting on. Fashion for our future. And they stop at an XXL. They don't even come in plus sizes. But you continuously want to center plus size bodies in your marketing and not in your stores. Use this in your advertising, use this in your mission statements, and continue to intentionally exclude us from every single aspect of fashion when it matters most.
So she's saying that a t-shirt from Old Navy is when fashion matters most? Really? I mean, really? I can think of a lot of situations in which fashion is going to matter a hell of a lot more. Like, I don't know, during the middle of winter when the wind chill could get 20 or 30 below zero around here. My fashion right then is to stay warm. And that's when it matters most. Not a stupid t-shirt. And let's be fair, if she really wants a t-shirt that badly, you can have t-shirts made. There are a lot of places you could do this. You could go online and find an Etsy shop and go to an independent seller and have that shirt made if it is when fashion matters the most. There are a lot of options she could do if it really matters all that much, right? But really, a t-shirt telling people to vote. I am certain she can find that in her size, especially during a presidential election year in America. She just can't find that particular one from Old Navy.
We're talking about voting. Are we too big to vote now?
What? What? That's what she got from that. Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me? No, never in my life have I needed an Old Navy t-shirt to get my ballot at the ballot box. As a matter of fact, I don't even have to go to the polls to vote. I can vote from the privacy of my own home. And if I really wanted to, I could do so buck naked. I mean, yeah, granted, I would have to put like a robe on or something to go put it back out in the mail. But you get what I'm saying. Like, there is absolutely no need for this shirt to go vote. If she cares that much about it, why is she not sharing anything about actual voter registration? How to get people registered to vote? I mean, if she cares so deeply about this that she is going to be so angry at Old Navy for not making this shirt. Because once again, it's all performative outrage. So maybe she can get these brands' attention. But if she hasn't been paying attention to the climate, I mean, we've got Tess Holliday out here crying that she can't get work. We have a number of other people pointing out that, oh my goodness, they're not using plus size models anymore, that things are changing, the culture is shifting, that now with Ozempic we're getting the 90s body standards back, etc., or with low rise jeans. So knowing that there are working plus size models out here telling people that the culture is changing, yeah, she might be able to get their attention for a little bit, but in reality, brands are going to do what makes them money. And they're going to do what makes them the most money. So if they're not making money off of something, they're not going to continue it. And the part that grinds my gears more than anything else that I've seen so far today is knowing that voter suppression is still very much alive and well within America. Knowing that we still have issues to this day in our country with voter suppression and actually having people be able to exercise that right to vote. Knowing that that is still an issue, and she's going to conflate wearing a t-shirt from Old Navy to what, they're too big to vote? No, voter suppression is very much a real thing, and whether or not you have some t-shirt from Old Navy, that's not going to change that fact. Hi, Editing Katie here again. Just wanted to let you know that if you are in the United States, down below you will find a pinned comment with a link that will have resources for all 50 states, so you can check voter registration, register to vote, find polling locations, etc. all through the one link that I'll leave pinned in the comments below. Thanks.
Are we? What is it gonna take for you to take us seriously and stop making a mockery of size inclusivity?
They offer all these sizes online, but it's not enough. She demands that they're in store, despite the fact in her comment section on that last one we just watched, there were a number of people who said that they either worked for Old Navy or asked them directly, and they did not sell very well. That's why they removed them from stores. But they didn't cut them out entirely. They still offer them. And that is often the case for other extended sizes, whether you're looking for petites or you're looking for talls, or if you're looking for a shoe beyond like a size 10 as a female, you're more than likely going to have to do it online. And yes, I understand the frustration for that. I truly do. But I also understand the frustration of not even having that as an option. I mean, growing up, trying to find tall pants, like, it was insane. Trying to find anything in store was just impossible. So I understand the frustration of not being able to find clothing that fits you. I truly do. But I also understand that having online shopping has been a godsend for that. And then the other thing I really want to point out, with all of these brands, whether it's Forever 21, Old Navy, or any brand out there, they don't care about us as consumers. They care about the money that we have. That's it. That's legitimately it. And they're trying desperately to figure out how to get you to part with that money. That is all they are all trying to do. So expecting that these brands are going to magically care, the only thing they care about is profit. That's why they're corporations. They're nameless, faceless entities. They're not people. They don't have empathy. They don't have emotions. The only emotion they could possibly have would be greed. So trying to get these brands to change, the only way that that will actually happen is if you can provide them with solid economics behind it. If you can prove the numbers behind it, like if you do this, then this is what your sales will be. But guess what? The moment that it's below projected sales, they will cut it because they will do that for everything. That's just literally how every single business out there operates. So this kind of goes back to that whole Leo Skeppy drama. And yes, I'm very well aware of it. No, I did not get that video recorded before he took it down. And it's been talked about a lot. So this is as much as I'll probably cover it on this channel. But the one thing that he talked about, and I fully agree with, why on earth, when you have a brand that has repeatedly told you they don't care about you, they don't care about making clothes in your size or clothes that you would want to wear, why on earth would you want them to suddenly carry your size so you can just give them money and reward them for being a terrible company all of those years? I mean, that just doesn't make a lick of sense to me, especially knowing that there are a lot of brands out there that you can find clothing in. I mean, we did see her closet and it definitely wasn't empty. So with her platform, why isn't she promoting any of these brands that are doing the right things? Maybe, I don't know, trying to promote an indie brand that's trying to get exposure and she could help give them a platform. Why doesn't she create her own clothing line? I mean, with her platform, she could be putting a lot of positive out there and really helping promote brands that need exposure. But instead, she's complaining about a multinational corporation not making a cheap t-shirt in her size. And then comparing that to actual voting rights. Yeah, I'm not buying that.
If you couldn't tell, I'm livid. Because it pisses me off that fat people are continuously being treated like they are less than.
Again, over an Old Navy t-shirt. Over a t-shirt.
Like what they have to offer doesn't matter as much as someone else just because they're bigger.
Wow, she is taking this incredibly personally. And again, if this matters so much, she could easily have a shirt like that made. I'm certain she could probably find a shirt very similar to that in a lot of places. Again, it's an election year. They're everywhere. I mean, there's so many options of what she could be doing, but instead we have this.
And I am sick of it.
Wow, that is an awful lot that she just put on a t-shirt not coming in her size. That fat people must be too big to vote, that you'll always be mocked at and laughed at and made a mockery of. I mean, that's a lot of projection onto a t-shirt not coming in her size. And that is something that I have seen repeatedly in body positivity and fat acceptance. This notion that, well, a company doesn't carry this size, so that means this, this, and this. In this case, it means that you're too big to vote, that you're always going to be laughed and mocked at, and that evidently you'll just be a mockery. Is that what that means? I mean, that's so much projection on something so incredibly insignificant. Or again, if it were that important, if it were the utmost importance that she is this livid about. So I just find all of this to be so performative. There are so many options to all of the things that she was complaining about. Forever 21 not carrying plus sizes? Well, first off, she could have looked before she even left the house and then gone to the store that did carry them. The whole, we're going to purge Forever 21 from my closet. I mean, if I knew I only had one item of clothing in my closet for that, I don't think I would have posted that. That was a decision. A lot of decisions to film it, to edit it, to put it up over one shirt. And then, I mean, obviously she's got clothing in her closet from other brands. And I mean, she could be helping to promote the brands that are doing the things that would be helpful to plus size individuals. And then again, with Old Navy, she could have looked it up before she left the house instead of driving around to make a show of looking for these jeans. Especially knowing she could have had them delivered as well. These things are options. And in many cases, for many of us, the only options we have for shopping. And like I said before, I understand what it's like to not even have that as an option. So I'm very grateful that brands have a lot more inclusivity, especially when it comes to online shopping now. She's got options, but instead she's choosing to be mad. She is choosing to go out and make this performance, to go through her entire closet for one shirt. She is making the choice to feel like a victim in this situation. And this is something that I see, again, promoted often in body positivity and fat acceptance. She is the one that said, Oh, do you think we're too big to vote? Oh, are you making a mockery of us? Oh, you think you can include us in this but not this? She is the one projecting all of this onto a t-shirt not being carried into her size. No one else said this. She is the one who said this. And the thing about it is when I was active within the body positivity community, being told these types of messages over and over again, that people are going to treat you like crap, that this is going to happen, that is going to happen, it started feeling like a self-fulfilling prophecy. That because I was told that it would happen, I was looking for it to happen. And once I removed myself from that community, I realized just how toxic all of that way of thinking truly is. I mean, if you go into any situation with all these preconceived notions of what you should be looking for, chances are you're going to find it. And that's exactly what I find with body positivity and fat acceptance. They love to tell people all the time, this is the way people must think about you because this brand did this. But maybe that's just me. Let me know down in the comments below. What do you think? I'm genuinely curious and I love reading all of your responses. That is where we will leave things today. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye! Who do I have? Of course, I have the Pokey. Oh, you're purring up a storm, aren't you, sweetie? Look at all this floof. Look at all of that. He has to have to belly. I guess not right now. I usually can pet her belly, but not right now. There's the tail flick. I have upset the baby. Oh, bye.